Good morning, class. Today we will start our new chapter, that is your government budget. Now in government budget, see, budget means whenever we are comparing our income with the expenditures. Okay, we will make a statement, we will make a over plan or pre-planning something so that you can get the use of your income properly. You can structure the expenditures which can be done through the usage of your income. So as government will make such kind of statements to estimate government receipts as well as government expenditures during a period of fiscal year. Now what do you mean by fiscal year? Fiscal year means financial year, which is supposed to be your schooling year, likewise from 1st April to 31st March. This is your fiscal year. Now why there is a need of government budget? Basically, we need government budget firstly to reduce the inequalities in income and wealth. See, when we are supposing about your income and wealth, for objectives, firstly we will take reducing inequalities in income and wealth. As if we will take higher taxes from the richest, those who are earning more income and those who are rich in nature. So we will take higher income from those people and we will we will use that income, we will use that taxes in the poor section. We will give free services to poor people. For example, we are giving them free education or free kind of health services or some free routine checkups. We can give the poor these kind of facilities so that we can reduce the inequalities between income and wealth. Second one is reallocation of resources. Now reallocation of resources means we will take high tax, your government will take high tax on the hazardous goods. Whatever the goods, for example, if you are taking liquors or alcohol, cigarettes or hazardous chemicals, if you are having hazardous chemical factories, so government will implement higher taxes on these kind of sources or these kind of products and will give compensation or will give subsidies or reduce the taxes on socially good products. For example, khadi, milk, water supplies, etc. Nextly, economic stability. Government will do everything in their power to make the economy stable so that the saving and investment function can be done properly so that economic growth can accelerate. Next one is your direct participation and economic growth by managing public sector enterprises. Government will make sure that they have proper monopoly over some sectors. For example, railways. Government has proper monopoly over there, so with the help of that particular area, they can get main and more economic growth. Next one is growth of economy. By the help of the structure which government is building towards their budgets, for example, taking higher rates from rich classes and making the good use of money in the poor sections, they can accelerate the growth of the economy as well as they can promote the economic conditions as well. Next one is components of budget. Now basically budget is consisted of two parts. First one is budget receipts and second one is budget payments, budget expenditures. First one is your budget receipts. Budget receipts is mainly of two types. First one is your revenue and second one is your capital. Remember that when we are taking your revenue means regular nature income. Receipts are your income of government. So remember that whenever we are talking about your budget receipts, that means we are talking about your regular nature income. For say tax receipts are of your regular nature and as well as your non-tax receipts. Now talking about your tax receipts. टैक्स रिसिप्ट्स यानी कि ऐसी इनकम जो आपके टैक्स के थ्रू आपको मिली है. गवर्नमेंट इम्पोजेस वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ टैक्सेस ऑन द पीपल. फॉर एग्जांपल डायरेक्ट टैक्स एंड इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स. डायरेक्ट टैक्स इज अ टैक्स जो आपको डायरेक्टली आपको ही पे करना पड़ता है टू द गवर्नमेंट. यू हैव टू पे बाय योर सेल्फ. द कंप्लीट बर्डन ऑफ द टैक्स इज ऑन टू यू ओनली. इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स वो होता है जो आप इनडायरेक्टली पे करते हो गवर्नमेंट को, जिसका पूरा का पूरा बर्डन आप पे नहीं होता है. वो बर्डन आप शेयर कर लेते हो या उसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर देते हो फर्दर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल डायरेक्ट टैक्स मीन्स योर इनकम टैक्स, वेल्थ टैक्स, कॉरपोरेशन टैक्स, प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स एक्सेट्रा. वेयर एज इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स मीन्स GST, best example of indirect tax is your goods and service tax. If you want to take another tax, then your entertainment tax is also your indirect tax. As for say the producer has to give some kind of tax to the government. Producer has to give tax to the government, but he will not give the proper complete production tax to the government by himself only. He will add some of the part of the tax to the good, and then he will sell out the good in the market. That means whenever we are purchasing some kind of good, we are paying tax in that cost also. जो भी हम MRP प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं वापस गवर्नमेंट इसको शॉपकीपर को, हम उसे कुछ ना कुछ टैक्स भी पे कर रहे हैं साथ में. वहाँ से वो टैक्स कलेक्ट करके प्रोड्यूसर जो है गवर्नमेंट को पे कर देगा. दैट मीन्स ही इज नॉट डायरेक्टली पेइंग द गवर्नमेंट द टैक्स. He is firstly collecting the tax from us, and then he is collectively paying the tax to the government. This is your indirect tax. Now these were the taxes. Talking about your non-tax receipts. Now non-tax receipts means those income which are proposed with the help of not any tax sources. That means other sources जो हो गए गवर्नमेंट के, these are fees. Firstly fees. Government take fees for every service. For example, if they are registering your land, so they will take some kind of fees. If they are registering your birth or death registration also, there is some kind of fees you have to give to the government, and this is of regular nature because every day someone's birth registration is done or someone's death registration is done. So it is a regular kind of income. Next one is license and permit fees. License is not just your car license or driving license. The license can be permitted also like your cracker factory license, liquor factory license, medical license, etc. Every license you have to pay some kind of fees to the government. Next one is special assessment. Special assessment means when you are benefited by some government act. For example, अगर गवर्नमेंट ने आपकी प्रॉपर्टी के पास कहीं फ्लाईओवर बनाया, तो वो फ्लाईओवर बनाने की वजह से उस प्रॉपर्टी के पूरे उसके आसपास की प्रॉपर्टी की जो रेट है वो इंक्रीज हो जाते हैं. दैट मीन्स आपकी जो शॉप पहले अगर 10 लाख की थी, जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ द कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ दैट फ्लाईओवर नाउ इट इज ऑफ 40 lakhs. तो वो 30 lakhs की जो एडिशन हो गई, तो गवर्नमेंट उस पर आपसे टैक्स मांगती है, आपसे एक स्पेशल असेसमेंट फीस मांगती है कि हमारी डेवलपमेंट की वजह से आपकी प्रॉपर्टी के रेट इंक्रीज हुए, सो यू हैव टू पे सम काइंड ऑफ स्पेशल असेसमेंट फीस टू अस. सो दैट इज कंसिडर्ड एज योर स्पेशल असेसमेंट. नेक्स्ट वन इज योर एस्टेट्स. एस्टेट्स मीन्स when some person is there who don't have any legal heir to claim his property. For example, if a person who don't have any no family relation or no some business relation, nothing else, who can lawfully claim his property, so that property after his demise or after his death will belong to the government. These are your estates. Next one is fine and penalties. Government earn income with the help of fines implementing on you as well as penalties. Next one is the next is your gifts and grants. Government can get the gifts and grants as a source of income. For example, if there is some national calamity, so government can get various types of gifts at that time. So that is also considered as the income of the government, as well as income from public enterprises. For example, government is running railways in India, so whatever earning it is obtaining with the help of railways or with the help of LIC or any PSU, public sector undertakings, that is also a regular income of government, as well as interest on loans. Next one is your capital receipts. Capital receipts means those receipts which either create liability for the government or reduce the assets of the government. For example, if government is taking loan from outside India or from some RBI or some financial institute, that means it is a capital receipt, because अगर गवर्नमेंट लोन ले रही है तो गवर्नमेंट के ऊपर एक लाइबिलिटी भी हो गई. गवर्नमेंट इज नाउ अ लोन होल्डर, वो एक कर्जदार हो गई है. इट इज़ अ क्रेडिटर फॉर सम काइंड ऑफ एजेंसी. दैट मीन्स एडिशन टू द लाइबिलिटी. वेयर एज अगर हम क्या करते हैं, अपना कोई भी सामान है वो बेच रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, गवर्नमेंट इज सेलिंग आउट द यूजलेस ऑब्जेक्ट्स और यूजलेस असेट्स ऑफ द कंपनी टू गेट सम इनकम. अगर वो अपनी किसी कंपनी के असेट्स को बेच रही है या फिर अपना लैंड जो है एक्वायर किया हुआ है वो बेच रही है, तो उधर क्या हो रहा है, उनके असेट्स रिड्यूस होते जा रहे हैं. इफ गवर्नमेंट इज डूइंग द डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट, डिसइन्वेस्टमेंट का मीनिंग क्या हो गया, गवर्नमेंट क्या कर रही है, अपने शेयर्स को प्राइवेट सेक्टर को सेल आउट कर रही है. When it is selling out its own shares to the private sector, that means it is a process of disinvestment and it is mainly reducing the assets of its company. So that is how you can evaluate capital receipts. Now whenever there is any difference between capital or revenue, you have to just check whether the liability is creating or not, whether assets are reducing or not. अगर दोनों में से कोई काम हुआ है then it is a capital receipt. अगर दोनों में से कोई काम नहीं हुआ है that means it is your revenue nature receipt. Next one is your budgetary expenditure. Now we have done the budgetary receipts, that means income. Now we have to check budgetary expenditure, that means the expenses of the government. First one is your salaries and pensions. Salaries and pension will include that whatever employees are getting. For example, if you are a government employee and you are giving your services to the government, so just not government will not only earn income, they have to give some salary or some pension to the people also who are serving for it. So whatever salaries or regular basis expenses they are doing, that will be included in your revenue expenditure. And whatever expenses which are not in a regular nature and which will increase the assets whereas decrease the liabilities, they will be denoted as your capital expenditure. Next one and the last topic of your chapter is your deficits. Deficits means you can consider it as loss. When your income is less but you are expensing very much, जब आप बहुत ज़्यादा expense कर रहे हो but you are earning very less, so the difference between your expenditure and your revenue will be denoted as your deficit. That can also be explained with the help of an example. If you are earning 10 rupees and if you are spending 20 rupees, that means you are spending more than you are earning. So the difference between 20 minus 10, that is 10 rupees, is your deficit. That means you are facing a loss of 10 rupees. Likewise, it is known as your excess of expenditure over revenue. There are basically three types of deficits. First one is your revenue deficit. This is the simplest deficit you can easily learn. Revenue expenditure minus revenue receipts. That means whatever revenue expenditures we have learned previously, when we will deduct the income of revenue nature from these expenses, you will get revenue deficits. Next one is your fiscal deficit. This is very important deficit. Fiscal deficit means when you will deduct all the receipts from the total expenditure except borrowing. That means when you are taking all expenditures, that means revenue expenditure as well as capital expenditure, when you are taking it and you are deducting revenue receipts and your capital receipts excluding borrowing. We will not include any kind of borrowing in your fiscal deficit. So whatever the result you will get after the deduction, that will be known as your fiscal deficit. You can also conclude it as fiscal deficit is equal to the total borrowing of the government. Because whenever there is some kind of fiscal deficit, government take loan from the associations or from some financial institute, from SBI, to cover up the losses. Last one is your primary deficit. Primary deficit means a deficit when fiscal deficit is deducted from your interest payment. That means when you will deduct fiscal deficit and interest payment, you will get primary deficit. Fiscal deficit, we have just talked about it, that when you will subtract total expenditures and total receipts excluding borrowing, then it will be known as your fiscal deficit. And when you will decrease, when you will deduct interest payments on the loan taken by the government from fiscal deficit, then you will get primary deficit. Here your chapter is completed.